Hi, welcome back to Dion's Grace YouTube channel. First, I'm going to ask you to like, subscribe, comment, and share the video if you don't mind. Thanks again for taking time out to watch the video. Today, I'm going to talk about how my journey, in a nutshell, came to the point of where I'm so comfortable with me. I am unapologetically me, but I wasn't always like this. Growing up, I dealt with a lot of rejection. Growing up, talked about a lot, picked on, I fought a lot because people picked, so I had to fight to defend myself. Rejection from the people that was closest to me. It grew into my teenage years. You know, it was at school and it was at home. We got older, rejection in the church. So with all this rejection, it caused me to be a people pleaser. So for years, I was a people pleaser. I would bend over backwards. I would dummy myself down. I will play like almost like goofy, like I ain't know nothing, because I didn't want no one to really see the true me. Basically, I was hiding who I really was. I was hiding my voice. I was hiding my no's, if it wanted to be no, or my disapprovals, or my opinions on stuff, because I was so concerned about not having people who I thought I wanted in my life or wanted around me. I was so worried about that. When you deal with a lot of rejection, and for those who out there who know what I'm talking about when it comes to rejection, you feel alone. You feel like you're like the only one on the island and that nobody understands you. And when you have that unique type of personality, it makes you, if it's not cultivated at a young age and caught, it makes you like almost like a target to be a people pleaser, because you're constantly being rejected and you're constantly made to feel like something's wrong with you, so you're constantly trying to conform. And I'm not a conformist, but at the time I was trying to conform, and I guess that's why I bumped heads with a lot of people, because it really was not me, and I thought that was the only way for people to like me, was to try to conform to how they thought I should be. I blame people a lot for how they treated me, but it was my fault because I allowed it. I didn't put no boundaries. Because I didn't know no better. I remember I had a 6th grade history teacher. I remember he told me I had a unique personality, and God knows I didn't know what that meant then. And when you in a household where either you have my parent, I came from a single mother household, she wasn't able to cultivate my personality like it should have been cultivated, because she had her own insecurities herself. And so with that being said, I had to kind of basically go through life, go through half my adulthood being a people pleaser. And it causes a lot of pain and suffering, a lot of low self-esteem. You second guess yourself all the time. I felt so unworthy. I felt like, I always felt alone. And I wish I could just tell you when the light bulb came on. I don't know when it came on. That you need to stop. Like once I found my voice and realized it's okay to speak up, I started speaking up for myself. And once you're a people pleaser, and people know that you're a people pleaser, or pushover, or you want to say a doormat to people, once you speak up, they have problems. So I started having problems. But the people I was having problems with, they weren't necessarily needed to be in my life anyway. But I had to learn to speak up for myself. I had to learn to set boundaries. I had to learn that it's okay to be you, Dion. It's okay to be different. It's okay to think different. It's okay. You don't have to be like everybody else. And it's okay not to be everybody's cup of tea. It's okay. So when I say like I'm unapologetically me, I like where I'm at in my life. I I love me. I couldn't always say that, and I know some people out there, well, you should easily say that. Well, this ain't for y'all. It's for us who couldn't just say that right off the back. Okay, so, but I do. I love me. I like me. I'm beautiful, and it took some like really. It took some time for me to get there to really realize that, and that's why I'm able to almost like recognize people when they're like dealing with rejection. Rejection would cause you to also be like self-destructive. It would cause you to feel like nobody cares. It'll cause you, if you're not careful, to want to be suicidal. It'll cause you to look in the mirror and be like, oh, you're ugly. You don't like yourself. You would constantly, be so critical of yourself. And I am hard on myself. Not hard as myself as I used to be, but a lot of that came from rejection because I felt like I had to be perfect because it felt like something wrong with you. Why don't you get this? Why ain't you doing this? Why this ain't going on? It's a serious journey. It's a serious a lot of life lessons, a lot of tears, but a lot of victories because when you got it, you got it. When I ain't have it, I ain't have it. So it's like a very extreme. One part of my life I didn't have it, I got it now. I say no in a minute. I say yes in a minute. I say maybe, or I do it anyway even if I don't want to. But I know I'm being truthful. And when you're a people pleaser, you're not truthful to yourself. And if you can't be truthful with yourself, you can't be truthful with nobody else. So I had to also learn to be truthful to me. Whether it was not popular with everybody else, I had to be okay with being that oddball. I had to be okay with being that one that's like everybody saying left, I'm saying right. I had to be okay with that. So when it comes to being really unapologetically you have to be so comfortable with yourself, comfortable with sometimes you might not have a lot of friends, comfortable with you going somewhere and you by yourself. You have to be comfortable with yourself. You have to be confident in yourself. Not saying stuff don't sting. Don't say that if I am rejected or somebody don't like me, like, well, it do sting because I'm human, but it doesn't stop who I am. It doesn't cause me to, kneel, heel, and try to, like, oh, here I am. I'm sorry. No, we're not doing all that. It's, I think a lot of adults still struggle with being a people pleaser. And, people stay in relationships because they're a people pleaser. They stay at jobs because they stay at places they shouldn't. That's not healthy for them. Being a people pleaser is just not a good place to be. So even if, like, whatever your age is, I'm not saying this, as long as you got breath in your life, you're still able to get it together. Stop being a people pleaser. If you want to say no and you're constantly saying yes because you're scared of how somebody feel, that's one sign you're a people pleaser. And it stems from rejection. Learn to love yourself. Look in the mirror and tell yourself you're beautiful, you're handsome. Pat yourself on the back. Yeah, everything might not be what you want it to be like, but pat yourself on the back because it's still some good. Don't be a people pleaser. Work on that. Deal with the rejection. You're going to be rejected all your life no matter what you do. Learn to really embrace who you are. And once you're able to really, really embrace who you are, you'll get people in your life who embrace you for who you are. You have to embrace who you are and just be comfortable with you. Love yourself. And you're able to receive love, able to receive gentleness and kindness to yourself, because that's what you would give out. And whenever you do something for somebody else, it's out of purity and it's out of an honest heart. So once again, thank you for stopping by on Dion's YouTube, Dion Grace YouTube channel. Also like, share, comment, and subscribe to my page. Thank you. Bye.